Hardwired stripper moves from the 90s.
Yeah, you know, our fans will appreciate that part.
They don't care. They write what they want to say, and it's right against everything else.
They created the wave that everyone else is riding.
Yeah, you think so? How come?
Because they were the first.
They were original, man.
Hey, thanks for watching Numbskull News, and today we're back into Metallica, and I'm going to list all their top projects in order from worst to first. Why? I like Metallica. Coming in dead last at number 13 is Lulu. You may not remember this, but it's when they did that project with Lou Reed after they got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it really sucks. I mean, to tell you the truth, a lot of the album sounds pretty good. The problem is Lou Reed. Lou Reed sucks. I don't know what the appeal is. I mean, he sucks. The Velvet Underground sucks. All that crap sucks. And I know there's die-hard Lou Reed fans for whatever reason. Metallica's one of them. And they wanted to do this project with him. I mean, I would love to hear it with, like, if you got some, like, guest vocalists on there to do Lou Reed's part, that would be great. However, Metallica would probably never do that because I guess they'd feel it was a slap in the face to old Lou. But this damn album's a slap in the face to my ears. I mean, sonically, it's good. Just Lou Reed, freaking terrible, man. At number 12, Reload, and I wish they didn't. I mean, this thing really does sound like a bunch of crap that didn't make the Load album. You know, and the reason I have it this low, there's only 2 decent songs on it. The Unforgiven 2, I like it. It's alright. It's not a bad song at all. I mean, it still pales in comparison to the original, obviously. And then Devil's Dance, that's a pretty decent song. The problem is it sounds like a Corrosion of Conformity album. Their album Wise Blood. Got a couple good songs on it. It's not COC's best, but I definitely don't need to hear Metallica trying to do their version of a mediocre COC album. But that's what it sounds like. And there were a couple hits off the album. Fuel, which I never liked Fuel. I never understood it. It was just, you know, a cheap pop kind of a song, and that's not what I expect from Metallica. And The Memory Remains. And you know, years later, I tried to give The Memory Remains another shot, another chance with me. When it came on the radio back in the 90s, I didn't like it. And I still don't like it. I just... At number 11, and I'm sure there are some people surprised it's even that high, is Saint Anger. The reason I have it up that high, both Frantic and Saint Anger, they're better than anything on Reload. Period. And there's a few other good songs on Saint Anger. People shit on this album quite a bit, understandably. I don't know what the hell Lars was thinking with that damn drum sound, that trash can lid he just kept hitting. I mean, look, and really in Frantic it fits. Just because of the type of song it is. Saint Anger, okay, kind of fits in there. But if he would have just went to a normal drum, I think it's a snare that was sounding like shit. If he had done something different, tuned up his drum kit for the rest of the album, this album would be pretty decent. It'd be higher up on the list. I do respect Saint Anger quite a bit. Just because they're really in a place where they shouldn't have made an album at all. They were almost breaking up. Jason Newsted had left the band. They haven't replaced him yet. James was going into rehab. I mean, there was all kinds of hell going on. If you ever seen the movie Some Kind of Monster, you kind of understand all the hell that was going on. As far as an album, I think it pretty accurately portrays just the chaos that these guys were in at the time. And it sounds like that. However, unfortunately, you can't listen to the whole album without getting a migraine because of the damn drum setup. So there's that. At number 10, and I struggle to put it this low on the list, but it is what it is. Hardwired to Self-Destruct. It's not a bad album. It's not. It has some good tracks on it. Now That We're Dead, Halo on Fire, Spit Out the Bone, Here Comes Revenge. Those are some really good songs. However, it just sounds kind of like a retread. It's like if you took Death Magnetic and then you mixed in some Black Album maybe put a little bit of Load in there, and just a smidge, just a little touch of Injustice for All, and that's Hardwired to Self-Destruct. I think my biggest problem, and why I say retread, is because they're not really giving me any new information. Alright? Songs like Halo on Fire, that's sonically, it's a little bit new. Alright? I haven't heard that kind of sound exactly from Metallica before. And I really enjoyed that. Here Comes Revenge isn't, the newest sounding song, nor is Spit Out the Bone, but they're really, really well done, and I really enjoyed them. That's just, my personal opinion, but then again, so is this whole damn video, I will say this, though. Mr. Trio, those backing vocals he does, that's the best backing vocal work I have ever heard on a Metallica album. He syncs up perfectly with James Hetfield. I love the guy. Some people, you'll see videos of people giving him shit about his bass playing. He's a great bassist. Screw you. Well, he's not Cliff. Well, not many people are, dude. Not a whole lot of people are Eddie Van Halen either. That doesn't mean they're not great in their own right. That's dumbass argument number one. But to be fair, I haven't spent a ton of time with this album. It usually takes a few years for a new Metallica album these days to really sink in. Typically, on a Metallica album, it generally grabs me pretty quickly. It has since my youth, and it has when I'm older. There's something in there that just, makes me pay attention. And really, there's no song on this album that really just grabs me and makes me pay attention. But really, these guys have been around for 40 years. It may just be a little tough to come up with something new. At number 9, I have S&M. I love Metallica with the orchestra. That was just a brilliant, brilliant idea. These guys are such great musicians. It just flows. And they gave you a new song on here, 4-Leaf Clover. And I gotta say, man, that has become one of my favorite Metallica songs ever. It's mostly all their classics on S&M. But with the orchestra, it really helps breathe new life, like a new version of it. So I generally like the album. The only reason I don't really have it higher is because it is a lot of old music. It's like a greatest hits. At number 8, Garage Inc. Love Garage Inc., man. What people don't understand, Metallica is not just the greatest metal band of all time, not just the biggest metal band of all time. They're the greatest cover band of all time. Because they're not doing all your usual fare. They're not taking an old 80s or 70s hit and then doing a rendition of it. They may have done it once or twice, but mostly it's a lot of songs from bands you've never heard of. So it's got a lot of the stuff that you expect from the old days, like Bread Fan, Am I Evil? But they did a rendition of Astronomy, which was fantastic. Love that. And at number 7, and I will fight anybody, Load is a great album. It's a freaking great album. The House That Jack Built, that's a great song. King Nothing, come on. Hero of the Day. Love that jam. It's one of my favorites. Bleeding Me, An Outlaw Torn. God, that's some good crap. Unfortunately, they did give you Not My Bitch. If you took Not My Bitch and 2x4 and replaced them with The Unforgiven 2 and Devil's Dance, this album would be higher up on the list. It'd be a perfect album. Or at least you can listen to it the whole way through. But Ain't My Bitch and 2x4 kinda suck. But to me, my favorite song, and I know it was one of the hits off the album, but Until It Sleeps, it was phenomenal. It blew my mind when I first heard this. Like, I didn't know Metallica could do music like that. Look, a lot of people don't like Load. They don't like the Mama Said. They don't like the country stuff. More country and blues influence. But I like that they changed it up a little bit. I didn't like the whole haircut bull crap and looking like a GQ cover. Wasn't much into that. But musically, Load is a great album. Like I said, 2 bad songs, but the rest of it, love it. At number 6, the best-selling metal album of all time, the Black Album. It probably should be higher. It may have been higher for me in the early 90s because I burnt myself out on this album. I probably spent 5 to 6 months when this album came out listening to nothing but this album. I can't listen to it anymore. Every song is great. Every once in a while, I'll hear a song from this. I'll hear The Unforgiven. I'll hear Inner Sandman or Sad But True, My Friend in Misery or whatever. And then it's like, okay, I got to stop listening to it. Because I think I permanently burnt myself out on this freaking album. The reason I did, because these songs are so damn well written and crafted and produced. It's just a genius album. And you can call them a sellout for it or whatever. Screw you. Every metal band out there wishes they had written these songs. Every damn one of them. At number 5, and let the hate ensue, but kill 'em all. Yeah, I know. It's their first, it's their classic. A lot of people say that's their favorite album. Good for you. It's not my favorite album. And look, I know you got Anastasia Pulling Teeth. That's Cliff Burton's opus on the bass. It holds up even today as just a orgasm of bass brilliance. But overall, I mean, there's some songs on here that, Metal Militia's not that great. I mean, it's all right. Now, No Remorse I love that, but there's just some songs in here to me that just sound dated. And James Hetfield's vocal performance, it's not my favorite. I don't hate. I mean, it's way better than Reload, but it's not my favorite era because his voice changes as he grows older, as it would with any vocalist. But I wasn't the biggest fan of his vocal on this album. It's all right, it's classic. I get it. I love it. Hey, it's freaking it's number 5 on my list. So of course I love it. But just when I stack it up to everything I have ahead of it, it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up as well as these other albums. But still top 5. Come on. At number 4, I swear to you, no one has this number 4 on any list. But I gotta put Death Magnetic number 4. My God. I didn't think Metallica was capable of doing an album that great, that late in their career. But they were. It's another reason why they're the greatest metal band ever. Who could put out this kind of music 30 years after they start? 30 years after Kill 'Em All. And they come out with Death Magnetic, which is brilliant. The songs are great. They are on point. Lyrically, James has got it going on. And the hooks are there. The melodies are there. Everything you expect from Metallica is there. Top of their game. Imagine this, though. Imagine. What if Death Magnetic, instead of Load and Reload, what if Death Magnetic had came out in 96? Right? 5 years after the Black Album. I mean, there's no doubt Death Magnetic would have been one of their classics. Everyone would have been like, oh my God, what a follow-up. To me, the reason people don't have it higher up on their own lists and personal lists is because of the timing. You had to go through the Load, Reload, you had to go through Saint Anger, you had to go through Lulu, or I mean, it may have been afterwards, but you had to go through a lot of shit to get to this, which a lot of people feel is their redemption album. You may say, there's no way in hell I'd put it above Kill 'Em All. Well, to me, I like James Hetfield's vocals on Death Magnetic better than I do on Kill 'Em All. But Kill 'Em All has been with us for so long, and it's such a classic, it's such an important album. It's Metallica's first album. It was their first. It wasn't their best. I think everybody would agree with that. At number 3, I have Ride the Lightning. James Hetfield's vocals got a little bit better. The songs got a little bit more epic and grandiose. Whether it's a song Ride the Lightning or Creeping Death or Fade to Black, Metallica's songwriting capability took several steps forward in this album from Kill 'Em All to Ride the Lightning. And there's really no song on this whole album that I listen to and don't absolutely love. This thing is flawless from beginning to end and classic from beginning to end. Whether it's Trapped Under Ice or The Call of Cthulhu, it's a perfect album. At number 2, I have Injustice for All. And I know no one has a Justice for All number 2. That's a personal thing for me. To me, this is my favorite era of James Hetfield vocals. I love his vocals on this album. Everyone talks about the lack of bass. Okay, we all get it. There's a lack of bass. All right. But there's not a lack of vocal. James Hetfield was freaking perfect. For me, it's a personal thing for me, but I love his vocals on this album. I love the guitar tones on this album. It is so aggressive, so nasty. I can't believe they can make an 8 or 9 minute song feel like a short ride. The dynamics in each song, the transitions, everything. They've always been great at it. They were just at a superhuman level with this album. And Justice for All is just, that's their Pantera moment. That's their, that's the most aggressive moment in their entire career was in Justice for All, because it wasn't just fast. It wasn't just hard. It's hard to explain it. It's like freaking war. It's like freaking M16's going off, man. That's just what it sounds like to me. And it hits me right in the heart. Love it. And number 1, I mean, look, it's got to be Master of Puppets. And I tried to get cute, man. I tried to, let me see if I can make Master of Puppets number 2. You can't. If there's ever been a perfect album, it's Master of Puppets. And really, for me, the top 3 on this list are absolutely ridiculously perfect. And really, of the entire thrash era in the 80s, this album stands out above all others. All others. No one else can touch this. I'm a huge Megadeth fan. Nothing, and I mean nothing Megadeth ever did can touch Master of Puppets. So forget about Anthrax, forget about Slayer. They sure as hell can't touch it. This album it's for me it's the greatest metal album ever. And you could try to name some obscure band or some death metal band or some Norwegian black metal. You could name a Cradle of Filth, whoever. You could pull all kinds of albums out of your ass and say it's better. It's not. You say, well, there's Black Sabbath. Come on, Black Sabbath. No, sorry, nothing Black Sabbath ever did can touch Master of Puppets. And that's saying a shit ton, but it's true. And I'm not going to sit here and try to break down the album. If you're watching this and you're a Metallica fan, you know all about Master of Puppets. Why am I going to regurgitate a bunch of crap you already know? I'm not. But anyway, that's my list. Why? Because it is. And I wanted to make this video. If you don't like it, make your own. I don't give a damn. Kiss my ass. Either way, I'll be back with something else some other time. Bye.